I'm Patricia Kelly with Access Community TV, and today I'd like to share a slogan with you that is quite visionary. It's local produce, zero waste, and good company. Do you think it's possible? Well, it is actually happening at Lupii Community Cafe. And today I'm joined by the owners of Lupii Community Cafe. That's Lisa and Daniel Papania. So welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for having us here.
We're happy to have you. Could you start perhaps by telling our viewers a little bit about Lupii Community Cafe for those who have not been there and might not know much about it?
Lupii Cafe is a neighborhood cafe that Lisa and I started about 3 years ago. We saw this need in our community for a space that helped the world and helped the community. We have lived in that neighborhood for over 10 years, and there was a video store there that was closing down after 30 years of business. And we thought this is a real tragedy because it was a community space that brought people together. And so we said, Lisa said to me, we have to start something there that adds to the world, and the rest was history.
That's excellent. So that started 3 years ago. So has Lupii changed in any way up to the present day, to 2018, Lisa?
Absolutely. We've changed hugely. When we started, as Daniel said, we wanted to continue to be a space where that was a safe space for the neighborhood to come at, but we also wanted to be a sustainable place, a place that had no waste, that in its inherent business model produced no waste and was sustainable in itself. And so we started there as potentially a traditional coffee shop. But we found quite quickly that people, although the sustainability aspect of it was nice, people didn't really, it wasn't something that people would come because of. And we also found that quite quickly that behavior that was encouraged through a traditional coffee shop of people coming in, demanding a coffee and leaving, wasn't actually creating community. So we were a traditional coffee shop for a few months, and then we decided that wasn't really what we wanted to do. We had been hosting community dinners every month, which were free community dinners, which we held at the community center, to which we invited the entire neighborhood, and some of them had up to 200 people come in and participate in the food. And so we found that was a much more conducive environment to conversation and caring about the community. So we said, how do we transition away from being a traditional coffee shop to more of this sit down, talk to your neighbor, not necessarily know who was going to be there even, but come and sit down and commune. And so for almost 2 years we had that model where we offer the more community dinner kind of setup, where we would have a bunch of crock pots every day. People could come in. It was very low price because we wanted to make sure that nobody in the neighborhood was prevented from coming in, and they were able to come in, help themselves, sit down and have a meal. That's been quite a hard sell. It's a different model to what people are used to, and we needed to bridge more of a gap to figure out how to explain to people why it was so important, because some of the breakdowns that we're seeing in society is that people don't form community anymore. They don't know who their neighbors are. They don't know how they can help. When they need help, they find it frustrating because they don't know their neighbors. And so part of that is being able to sit down with somebody who is your neighbor saying, how are you? Can I help? And so we felt that, even that sitting down and breaking bread was a little bit of a stretch for people. So we said, okay, almost 3 years in, we said, well, let's try something new. And so now we're having the free community dinners where we ask people to come, sit down. It's in the cafe. We give them a bit of a preamble. What we're doing now is we're having a community dinner. Say hello to your neighbor. Find out how you can help. Find out where they might need help. So we do that once a week. We also do, we give away free produce to the community. Again, it's an opportunity for us to help people in the community, and for them to come together and get help where they need. And we found that through this free produce program, people are getting produce not just for themselves, but for their community members. And then we're also doing a lot of education at schools and at universities. We're participating both in the cafe and outside to kind of get back to, I think, a model where people can eat together and build community.
Can you give us an idea where you would like Lupii to go in the future?
Yeah, it's a great question. So if I look back at the last 3 years and how much we've changed, I know that I can expect there'll be a lot of change in our future. But the one thing that keeps it constant is that it's always focused on community. And what that looked like when we first opened, where it was more traditional cafe, to what it looks like today, where it's much more community focused, I know that there's that constant. And what I do see is that with each passing day, we're getting so many contacts from people that are hearing about us through these word of mouth connections and are saying, can we come and speak to you? Can we bring a group of school kids to come and learn about zero waste? Can you come and cater for our event? We're having a sustainability event and we need zero waste caterers. So we're making so many connections. So I know our future will be very connected. And as Vancouver and the world are moving towards sustainability, we are going to be well situated to have those conversations and then to push it even further.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you both for joining us. And I guess if any of our viewers are interested in learning more, they could either visit your cafe or maybe go online to, is it lupiicafe.com?
That's correct. And yes, please come in and join us for a community dinner on a Friday night. At the moment, we're busy catering, well, not catering, we're preparing all of the food for 2 kayakers from Australia who are traveling down the Inside Passage, kayaking over 2,000 kilometers from Juneau all the way to Vancouver Island. So we'll start up our community dinners in May again. So yeah, people can go onto our Facebook page and book reserve a seat to come to the community dinners that we will start again in May.
So it's Lupii.
Excellent.
L
with 2 I's.
That's right.
Okay, thank you very much, both of you, for joining us
Thanks,
today.
Patricia.
Thank you so much for having us.
Okay. I just wanted to mention one other group that's local as well, and they're a nonprofit. You could think of them sort of like the little brother, little sister to Daniel and Lisa Papania. And they're the UBC Sprouts, and they also divert food from the waste stream into their food boxes and the UBC campus cafes. If any of you could do anything to support these people with vision, I'm sure they'd really appreciate it. Thank you for watching.